Hello, welcome to easyodds.com. My name is Ross Casey. I'm here with the horse racing extraordinaire, Jake Johns.
Horse racing extraordinaire. No.
Yes, you are.
Carry
You're
on.
my horse racing extraordinaire.
Carry on.
And we're here to go through day 2 of the Cheltenham Festival on Wednesday, the 15th of March 2017. We're dead excited. We've already gone through day 1. Hopefully we've found lots of winners there. And we're heading into day 2, which has got some pretty big races also. Yeah. So let's get stuck in. But before we do, a quick note that this is being sponsored by our friends at Coral, who have got a really good offer of the Cheltenham Bet and Get Club, which will start on Monday. If you open a new account with Coral, bet £25 on any sport by Monday, then you'll get a £10 free bet on the Supreme, which is one of the biggest races of the whole Cheltenham Festival. So that's a really good start to their Cheltenham Bet and Get Club. They'll have more offers throughout the whole festival. So make sure that you open your account with Coral by clicking here. So without any further ado, let's get stuck in, Jake, to day 2 of the Cheltenham Festival.
Okay, so it all kicks off with the Neptune, and who's going to run? God knows. There's about 900 Willie Mullins horses still in it. But there are a couple that I like in there. Right, Neon Wolf is the favourite on 9-4. If he goes here, I can't see him going off that much older than that, but he's pretty solid. Put up a very, very quick speed figure. Great final sectionals. Haydock last time, ahead of Elgin, who franked the form. Very good horse, but I worry slightly about what he's beaten so far. Elgin it seems quite good, but not a world beater. But could easily win, but the only problem I have is his price at 9-4. I think that might be a little bit too short now. Was available much bigger and has been absolutely hammered in the week. Bookies will not be liking it if this one wins. But the one I actually really like, Bacardi's, one of the ones from Willie Mullins. I'm pretty sure he's going to go here. Well, I'm almost certain he's going to go here. He's ended in a few other things, but I'm almost certain he's going to go here. Picked off Bunkoff early last time. Bunkoff early is very strong in the market for the Supreme. Probably wanted it a little bit, shorter, so obviously Bunkoff early's going down on trip and travelled really nice that day. But he did pick him off nicely from the back. I actually tipped him that day at 16-1 as well. Bacardi's should be unbeaten over hurdles. Fell when going really well on debut at short odds. Was third behind Moon Racer and Blow by Blow at the Punchestown Festival, over 16 furlongs. That's really, really strong form because Blow by Blow is an absolute beast, and obviously I rate Moon Racer a lot. That was a bumper at Punchestown, over 16 furlongs, and he was third in the Champion Bumper last year, which wasn't a great race, but he was staying on well, and I'm pretty sure he needs further. This is the first time he's going to be taken on a trip 2 miles 5. Looked really good stepping up in trip last time. I think this trip is perfect for him. He might even be better over a little bit further, but at the moment this is perfect. I know they like him a lot in the yard, and it's a decent price at 5-1 as well. It's being backed all the time. If it is the only Mullins horse in this race, you can guarantee he'll be off second favourite at the very least. Probably a little bit shorter than 5-1. Another one that I quite like, but might not go here. I'm going to mention a couple. I haven't got a massive play in this at the moment. I think Bacardi's is going to be... Well, if Let's Dance runs in this, she will be my 100% my bet. I've backed her at 10-1, non-runner, no bet. She's 7-1, non-runner, no bet, best price now, because yesterday Willie Mullins put out his best kind of... gave out the message that she might not be going for the Mares' Novice Hurdle like everyone thought. That's what I've tipped her for. But might be going for the Neptune. This step and trip will be, well, this trip is absolutely perfect for her. Unlike the Mares' Novice, which might be a little bit too short. He's already got a really useful horse in that. I don't know why he'd want 2 fantastic horses in one race. So she could easily run in this. Really flicks over her hurdles. She's a superb jumper. Form over Shattered Love, very, very strong. Over a trip that's probably too short for her as well. Won a Grade 3 at Leopardstown. Slow Motion was second, 17 lengths back, bolted up in her next 2. You could basically, the Mullins don't really care about juveniles. They don't care for them. She's obviously come on a lot since that season, and she is an absolute monster. Her form is fantastic. She jumps really, really well. I think she is well, thing is, she's not running no bet. You can get her 7-1. If she runs, she's not going to be any bigger than 3-1, 3 or 4-1. I mean, Neil Wolf will be favourite, but I think she could be second favourite. I really do.
So you definitely advise punters to get on it now.
Non-runner, no bet. Yeah. And then another one at a huge price, just in case Let's Dance doesn't run, which, well, let's face it, she might not. It's about probably 75% chance you're running the Mares Novice, 25% you're running this.
Trainers have been known to tell a white lie every now and again.
Especially Willie Mullins. But one that's kind of interesting at 20 to 1, already got Nico de Boinville booked beyond conceit. Nicky Henderson trained. Obviously, you'd think that would be his first choice because Nico de Boinville was on board. David Russell's on the other one, but he is a retained rider. But anyway, beyond conceit, former flat horse, 8-year-old now, but had two years off after his flat season. Came back for Nicky Henderson, absolutely bolted up by 10 lengths. Second one next time by 6 lengths from that race. Hidden Cargo was 4th for Alan King, 29 lengths back, and was only a length behind Move of the Times the run before that. That's pretty interesting form considering Move of the Times is hotly touted for the Supreme and is a really decent horse. Very, very keen last time. Incredibly worrying, very, very worrying that he was so keen, but he still won. Didn't go off favourite. Will need to settle much, much better. But 20 to 1 is very, very big. Acting Last was 4th last time, 20 lengths, and then only 20 lengths in 4th, but was only 7 lengths behind Finian's Oscar at Hereford the time before that.
Okay.
Finian's Oscar's 5 to 1, Beyond Conceit's 20 to 1. I'm not saying he's going to win. The first race back might have been a bit of a freak occurrence to win by 10 lengths, but if he does settle better, 20 to 1 could be quite big. It might be a decent bet each way. But yeah, if Let's Dance and Bacardi's both run, then I'll be going with both of them. I've already backed Let's Dance at 10 to 1, so I kind of have to go over her.
Brilliant stuff.
And obviously she'll get the allowance as well, which is going to make it even harder for the other one. So Let's Dance 7 to 1, decent. Yeah, the next one is another Grade 1, the RSA. This is an awful race. This is an awful renewal. The JLT has kind of grown, whereas the RSA has just gone backwards throughout the years. I've already tipped up Might Bite at 12 to 1 in the Cheltenham preview that I did with the racing blogger, who's just gone AWOL.
AWOL.
For some reason, he just won't come back after saying that Tony Bellew was going to
Yeah.
going to beat David Hay, putting his life insurance on it, I think. So don't know what's happened to him. But anyway,
But we may see him next week.
we could do,
Little teaser for you.
but not definitely. RSA, Might Bite. Yeah, I tipped him at 12 to 1. Now 7 to 2. Firstly, because the form was franked after that at Kempton Run, and then also there's been withdrawals from this race. I'm not going to say that Cheltenham is his best track. He might want flat track. He's definitely not my layer of the week, like a lot of people have said, considering how bad this race is. I just don't see that much opposition to him. He was 20 lengths clear at Kempton before he fell. He was going to run a quicker time in that race than Thistlecracker was about to run in the King George when he bolted up. I just think he's taken a little bit of time to come into himself. He's a different horse than what we saw last season when we was losing to more of that at Cheltenham. He has won at Cheltenham, albeit in not a great race. This might not be his best track, that is 100% true, but I do think he's much better than he was last season, and I think he's better than these. He's much better than these talent-wise. I mean, Alpha Deso Beau is next up, has been not great all season, got beaten by Coney Island and then pulled up behind Leopardstown and had a really bad bleed after that as well. Mouse Morris, the best trainer at getting them ready for a race. Would not surprise me if he ran well. Very rightful second favourite. Third favourite, Acapella Bourgeois, obviously did that. Roger Lockram rode him, bolted up by 32 lengths because everyone let him go. I don't think the sectionals were that fast, so it was like they literally just let him go, roll on in front, but is improving for Sandra Hughes. Whisper beat Clan Deso Beau, who got battered the time after that and is 9 years old now, and don't think he's good enough anymore. American was going to want soft ground if it comes up soft. Bells Hill isn't going to run. Disco is probably going to go in the JLT. Royal Vacation would have lost by about 35 lengths to Kempton. Royal Vacation might like Cheltenham better than might be better at Cheltenham than Might Bite, but if he can reverse a 35 length defeat, then fair enough. He's a decent price at 12 to 1. R. Kempfer is probably not Grade 1 class, he's up next. So when I'm just looking at the opposition, I just don't think it's that strong. If Alpha Deso Beau comes back to something like his best, he's a big danger, because obviously he's got some decent form at Cheltenham as well, and Mouse Morris is really going to get them back to it. But he's coming back from a bad injury, and he was pulled up, and he got beaten by Coney Island the time before that, although it was a little bit short probably. But he's decent, all right. I suppose he's all right at 13 to 2, but I'll I think my bite's okay at 7-2, to be honest. Next up is the Coral Cup, the first handicap of the day. I'm going to wait until final declarations with this one because there's 89, I think that's about 80 entries or something, so I haven't been able to fully process what's going on. The best way to do it is to wait until declarations. Final declarations should be a lot earlier, in my opinion. But there's a couple that caught my eye. One, it's a pretty obvious one if you've been watching these videos. Peregrine Run. I actually tipped him up for the Neptune, got withdrawn. Then I thought, oh, if he goes in the Albert Bartlett, I'll dip back in there. But he's going in a handicap off of a mark of 142. That is a very, very interesting mark for me. 142 could be ahead of the handicapper here. Obviously really attractive. Only horse to beat Holstone this year. Also ahead of West Approach in that race, although West Approach wasn't at its best and made a bit of a mistake. Very, very, very strong traveller. Jumps over his hurdles, attacks them very, very low. Could make a mistake, but on the whole, very good jumper. Yeah, like I said, he's a fantastic traveller. You can ignore his last run. I mean, when it's on heavy ground, absolutely hated it. It's going to be pretty fast, it looks like, by Wednesday. They'll call it good to soft, but it'll be closer to good, more likely. That'll be perfect. The faster, the better. If he stays up, I honestly, and if he stays up and if he runs to the form that he's been running in this year on the good ground rather than the heavy ground, I can't see him coming out the first three at all. The big Irish banker for the whole entire meeting has been Tombstone. First for the county hurdle, and now Gordon Elliott's saying he's going for the Coral Cup. Being absolutely hammered. He has been given a cracking mark of 149 as well. That seems extremely lenient for beating Jeski last time. He was fourth in the Supreme. The form of that Supreme is unbelievable, as I mentioned in the other video. I tipped Charbel for the Arkle without Altior. He came fifth. Obviously, you've got Altior who won. Min unbeaten since. Yeah, and it's just absolutely unreal. The form is. I think he's all right at 5-1. I think he could go off even shorter than that at 3-1. He's one to keep on side for sure. He's definitely not a lay bet anyway at 3-1. One more at a bigger price, Tin Soldier. One first time for Willie Mullins, and then improved a lot for his second run of the season. Seems like a typical Mullins improver. Beat Moulin Avant for Noel Mead, who was actually not too far behind Death Duty in the run before that, and all the horses in front of him, I think it was Invitation Only and Monolly, top class. So Tin Soldier is an improving type who could go well at a big price, 20-1. Next up is the feature race of the day, the Champion Chase. I've already tipped Fox Norton without the favourite here. I think that is still pretty solid. Obviously, Duvan's going to win. There's no opposition to him at all, really. I would not be backing him, of course, at 1-3. But, you know, as 1-3 shots go, it's all right. The field just isn't great behind him. Fox Norton is not definitely going to run either. But if he does run, I think he's a pretty safe bet at 5-2. He's going to come on for the run. He suffered a pretty bad injury after winning the Schlur, but we're still second behind Altior, which is, you know, not that bad. And he's going to come on for that run. His record at Cheltenham reads second, third, first. Absolutely destroyed them at the start of the season in the Schlur. I think he's easily the second best here. If I just go through the field. There's only 13 left in. It's going to be. I reckon there could be under 8 runners in this, and so he's obviously not going to run. God's Own is an interesting one, but I'm not sure how much he likes Cheltenham. Although he has run well here before, the good ground's going to be in his favour. He's an interesting one. Special Tiara's gone at the game a little bit. I think he hasn't been that good this season. And then it's like who is going to run out of all these? Top Gamble was supplemented. He's going to want it a little bit softer. Lammy Surge, biggest bridal merchant in training. So yeah, I think he's quite safe. 5-2 is decent. We're not going to dwell on the Champion Chase. And then we've got 3 pretty tricky races. First up, the cross country, the Marmite race at the festival. I, for one, think it's all right. Kind of funny seeing horses just going around this mad course. Yes, the one I like is Auvergnat. Auvergnat. That could be how you pronounce it. That could also not be how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I got it wrong for any French people watching. Was going really, really well here on trials day before and seating. Not as well off at the weights as he was that day, but the weights aren't as important in cross-country races. Won very well at Punchestown last time under a fantastic ride. He's got the ultimate trainer in Edna Bolger for these races. Seems to be improving. Quite a young horse for this type of race as well, and is a decent price at 9-1 still. Like I said, the weight in terms of the weights, Cantlow is much better off than him, but Cantlow is I just don't like him when under pressure. I don't think he finds that much, and when he doesn't like it up him,
Doesn't like it up him,
as you say.
A bit of an Arsenal horse.
Yeah, exactly. But 9-4 is a little short for me. But he did bolt up here not too long ago, and if he doesn't get that much pressure put under him, then he probably will. He'll either win by 5 lengths plus, or won't win, I'd say.
Sure.
And then, of course, is obviously the class horse. But so many times in this race, we've seen the class horse not win or do anything because they're just not used to it. Yeah, and another one that I like in this is Any Currency. Has a fantastic record in this particular race. Satisfactory last time and third in that race where Avignon fell. But basically won this race last year but got disqualified. Won it quite well as well. Been second a couple of times before that, behind Bardstar King. And his prep run for this has been much better than the one that he did before last year when he was 81 lengths behind Joseph's Orders and then reversed the form there. This time he was in third, 24 lengths back, but I could see him running a massive race, a massive price. He's a 14-year-old now, he's 14-1. If that doesn't make you want to back him, then I don't know what will. But 14-1 is a really good price as well, and he's definitely going to run. Aidan Coleman's already been booked on board. He's obviously very, very old now, but Uncle Junior, he was a beast. He was very old as well, and he was still the beast in these races right up until the end. So Any Currency can easily run into a place. I'll probably go him of each way. Ovonyo might as well go each way with that as well. 9-1, nice price. It's a Fred Winter next, and I have absolutely no play in it at all at the moment. I'm going to wait until the decks come out, but last year I didn't even have a tip in it because it is just hard. I don't know, like, there's so many variables that you can't control in this race. The Henderson horse's favourite looks really well handicapped on that form ahead of Master Blue Eyes. He could be backed quite heavily as well, so if there was any of them I'd probably go for him. I think he might be favourite actually. 6-1, so yeah, that's an alright price, but like I said, don't trust what I say on this race because I haven't had a proper look at it. Well, I've had a look at it, but I haven't got a play in it at all. But I will do by Wednesday, so that's when my tips. Obviously, like we said in the video before, all my tips will be going out the day before when final declarations are out. So that's when all my concrete selections will be made. The final race of the day is the Champion Bumper, won last year by Baliandi, won the year before that by Moon Racer. A horse who I like a lot. Interesting race this year. Doesn't look as deep as usual. Favourite Get a Bird, previous favourite Get a Bird has been withdrawn. But the one I really like actually is Someday. Currently best price of 9-1. I think it will shorten. I reckon it's the best Irish bumper. Not trained by Willie Mullins, surprisingly. But yeah, Willie Mullins has about 400 entries in this as well. Beat Someday, trained by Jessica Harrington, beat the Mullins hopper Va de Tiet.
More great French from
these French horses are getting me. But yeah, he looked like a very, very good horse. Patrick Mullins says that Va de Tiet horse is probably the best bumper horse that they have in their yard, or at least one of them, and he beat him all right, like half a length, about half a length, I think. But yeah, the Joseph O'Brien horse was in third, Imperial Way, by 15 and a half lengths. He wasn't that far behind Bunker Furley, who was obviously pretty favoured in the Supreme, and also by more than Get a Bird beat him, who was the previous favourite I mentioned before. Get a Bird actually only beat him by 12 lengths. It's ifs and buts, but of all form, I think he's the most interesting one at 8-1. There are a couple of horses that have been massively backed. Western Rider for Warren Greatrix and Cause Toujours for Danske Bank, both been backed for the English yards. But I'm going to be going with Someday at around 9-1. Actually, already backed it at 10-1. But those are my kind of plays on each race at the moment. Like I said, there will be concrete tips out the day before on the Easy Odds site. But yeah, there we go. Day 2, finito.
Absolutely brilliant stuff there from our man Jake Johns, and as he said, don't forget to download the Cheltenham app, because that is going to be the easiest way to get hold of Jake's tips throughout the whole festival. Tips coming in daily, best odds, best daily offers. What more can you want from the Cheltenham Festival than easyodds.com giving you the best prices and the best tips for the Cheltenham Festival? So make sure that you do download that, whether you're an iOS or an Android user. We will put the link in the description below, and also don't forget that this is sponsored by our friends at Coral, who have the Cheltenham Bet and Get Club open from next Monday. So you make sure that you get your £25 bet in with Coral by next Monday. Then you will be eligible for the Cheltenham Bet and Get Club, which starts with a free £10 bet on the Supreme at Cheltenham Festival. So that's a really good way to start your festival season, and it's just the first of many, so make sure that you get involved with Coral using the link in the description and in the ending part of this video. So thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for our race tips for day 3 and 4 coming up next week, as well as a potential tip from that man racing blogger, which I'm sure many of you will be very pleased about. So make sure that you channel in for that one next week. So thanks very much for watching. I've been Ross Casey. This is Jake Johns.
Bye.